Hey guys, it's Jim at Cancer CanRock. We are here at Rust Belt Studios in Detroit with Mark Paul doing his song, The Forsen and the Pain. I hope you enjoy it. Mark, how are you?
Doing good.
We did your song today and it's called?
Forsen and the Pain.
What's it about?
That's a good question. It's more about when it was written. It was written when I was recovering from the surgery to remove my tumor.
Okay.
And it's a song that kind of wrote itself, and what it came to mean to me was just that, like, the person you are is formed by the good and the bad in your life, and you don't really get to choose how much of one you get of those two that you get. So fortune, the pain in your life explains the when and why. The poison and the time will come for you, right, or come for you. So it kind of tells the tale of a time of trial and tribulation, and giving over to those things and accepting that that's part of life.
What was the cancer you were diagnosed with?
Esophageal.
Okay. And they removed it?
Yeah, I had an esophagectomy to remove a section of my esophagus and bring my stomach up. So my stomach went from here to here,
okay,
and they put me back together so that I could eat again.
It sounds horrible.
It was, it almost seems like it happened to somebody else. It's hard to believe that it happened, and I am a year removed from that surgery as of yesterday.
Understood.
It was a hard-fought battle, and sometimes I was on the ropes, but I kept a good attitude through it all. So
good.
It wasn't as bad as it could have been.
Good. How did Cancer CanRock get hooked up with you?
Actually, I really couldn't even explain it. Cancer CanRock followed me on Twitter.
Okay.
And I was what is this? Because I wasn't really, I was somewhat public with my diagnosis, but right, I don't want to be totally, I exist outside of having cancer, so I wasn't going out of town and putting out, looking for sympathy. I didn't want sympathy.
Right.
But they found me through the social media, and I followed back, and I just started asking questions, and I said, this is something that I think I qualify for, and
definitely.
I love being in a studio, and I have all these songs to share, and I thought, I could be a benefit to show somebody who came out of something so traumatic where it was a threat to my voice and my ability to even do this, and a year later be healed enough to come and do this to inspire some other people in a positive way, rather than just going out and looking for sympathy and trying to inspire somebody through my hardship story. Have a good story to come out of it.
Awesome. The one thing I remember about going through brain cancer 23 years ago, I didn't want the scarlet letter to be public.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't want sympathy.
Correct.
I didn't want, because I'm in a vain music business, I didn't want people to think, because I literally had an artist in Atlanta say, "Oh, I thought you were dead."
Yeah.
And I didn't want any of that.
Right.
But then I got to a point about 10 years in, I said, screw it. You know what I mean? Everyone's gonna know.
Yeah.
I don't care. They don't want to work with me because of it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they know what they can do.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it took a while, it really did for
right,
me to get to that point.
And I think when you do this, it's hard. You got to give people the benefit of the doubt more often. I think the initial instinct isn't to do that, because people will surprise you sometimes, but people will also not surprise you sometimes.
Well, go ahead.
Yeah, so that's where sharing my story, I opened up a bit more about it but I waited until I was in a good place.
Right.
I didn't want people to treat me differently. I didn't want to, when they saw me, to see cancer instead
right,
of me. When you're going through something like this, you're not fully in control of your life. That's something I've also learned, because you are subject to doctor's appointments, and you can't go where you want to go because you have to go to a doctor's appointment, or you have to go to a test or something like that. So being able to control that to a bit, it feels like a good thing, where you can let people in that you choose to let in, and then not always have to have that, "Hey, how are you doing?" Get that,
right,
the look. You get the look.
Yes, you do.
You get the look. So, and that's why I treat everything with humor. And as I told you, when people would ask, "How are you doing?" I'd lean in and say, "Well, what did you hear?"
Right.
And it would take them off. It would
right,
put them on their heels, but also kind of deflate the situation.
Yes, because it's probably wrong but I don't care.
Yeah, exactly.
Because
Yeah.
people will be like, "How you feeling?" I'll be, "Okay,"
Yeah.
you know, and just totally screwing with them.
Absolutely.
And just having fun, you know.
Exactly. Hey, you know, I got to get something out of this too.
Yeah, I get it. I just like, I've treated it with humor for a very long time, and I still do.
Yeah.
Because I do dumb crap all the time.
Absolutely. I'm still the same guy I was before I had it.
Well,
so.
I'm dumber now. I mean, brain radiation.
That'll
dumb you up.
Exactly. I use the excuse of chemo brain all the time when I forget things. And
right.
I don't even know if I had it, but it's a nice excuse.
Yeah, I didn't use it for a long time, but now I use it all the time.
Absolutely.
And I need to use it all the time.
Absolutely. And if I don't want to go to an event, I don't feel well.
Well,
you know, and who would ever question it?
Right.
So you gotta take the upsides when you can find them.
Well, how's today going for you?
Today has been amazing. Everybody involved was great. I mean, I had a blast. You know, the song it turned out better than I could have even envisioned. You know, having that partnership of a studio situation where I wasn't the dictator and calling all the shots and pushing everyone, to be able to just come in and perform for a musician of my level. It's something you never get to do. You know, I set up my own gear, I book the shows, drive myself there. You know, to have something where it was kind of turnkey, where I got to come in and just do my thing.
It's you.
It's me.
It's your day.
I got to do it. It was great. It was a great day.
It's a beautiful song.
Thank you so much. It was a real treat to do something like this. Something I always wanted to do and just never had the means or the time or whatever to do. So it was really fantastic.
Well, that's awesome, because I when I first listened to the song, the first line just pulled me in.
Yeah, I knew, and I have a whole second album ready to go, but I was like, that's the one. Like, that's the one that represents what got me here, and it's that second phase of post-surgery, post-cancer. It ties it all together, and really like my mindset here on going forth.
Cool. So how did you start out in your musical journey?
I've had a guitar in my hands as long as I can remember. I had a toy guitar when I was 3 years old. Anything shaped like a guitar, I would play air guitar.
Vacuum.
I sang into a vacuum or my grandma's 4-prong cane. If it was a broom, I was playing guitar on it. My house was very musical as far as like listening to music.
Right.
My parents didn't play, but my dad really like would take time. There was an oldies show on Sundays, and after the cartoons went off, we'd listen to that. So I've been steeped in rock and roll and music forever. My grandma, she taught me the countryside. I come from a lot of half of my family's from the South, so there's just always been music in the background. And it's the only thing I really wanted to do. It brings me the most joy, and having a guitar in my hand is when I feel the most comfortable.
Awesome. So what advice would you give people entering into this kind of scenario in your life?
Do it with humor.
Most importantly, do it with humor.
And, retain the ability to laugh and understand that, like, there are just things in life that are out of your control.
Yes.
Everything is temporary. How we pass through it, what happens to us, we have no control over it. And like giving over to that is such a big thing. And, one thing I always say is that, and it kind of goes to the theme of this song, is that, like, the person you are isn't made by the good things that happen in your life. The person you are is made by how you handle the bad things. Yeah. The good things are a nice treat. They don't happen as often as you would like, but there's always going to be bad stuff. You're going to lose people. Bad things are going to happen to you. Nobody escapes tragedy. So being able to, like, face that with a clear mind and accept it, it makes dealing with those things so much easier.
Yeah, I'm going to reiterate. The humor side.
And the
humor saved me. Literally, I would have gone out of my mind.
My room, my surgery was 12 hours to remove my cancer. I was in the hospital for 21 days, but my room in the ICU was the party room where all the nurses wanted to hang out, because I wasn't, the person of advanced age, like moaning, and I could have been miserable, and I could have been.
We'll be there soon enough.
Absolutely, it's all coming for us, but like. If you can, just retain that ability to smile, find the humor even in the bad things. That's when I had a blood clot and I was laying on a table and they were literally pulling a blood clot from my heart and saving my life. All I could do was sit there and laugh.
Right.
because this is my life. Like, how did I, as you said earlier, how did I end up here?
How did I end up
You know,
here?
like you have to.
Doesn't this happen to other people?
Absolutely. I'm not the first one, and I'm
Yeah.
not going to be the last one. It's probably going to happen to somebody I love, too.
Yeah.
And that sucks. But that's reality. And if you don't laugh, I don't know how you get through.
That's my main point of advice to someone going through it is just try to laugh. When you do something stupid, laugh.
Absolutely.
When something is frustrating you, laugh. When someone's being a jerk, laugh.
It's all absurd.
You know?
And you don't, and again, you don't have control over it. Things are going to happen to you. Life will happen. If you can laugh through it, you'll feel a whole lot better.
We've had a blast today.
Same here.
You know, I hope you have.
It's
It's a
been
long
fantastic.
day, and you've done very well with it. You've probably done better than I have, to be honest.
I'm hanging in there.
All right.
Thanks so much.
It's been a pleasure.
It's been an extreme pleasure. I'm so glad I said yes.